More updates are coming out from the YNW Melly and Bortlen witness tampering charges in court. As it was announced today, along with capital charges, YNW Melly's witness tampering charges will be classified as a capital life case, which if convicted, can result in a life imprisonment judgment and $15,000 in fines by Judge Duffy. Continuing, YNW Bortlen, Melly's co-defendant, also awaits his trial on the capital charges. However, his witness tampering charges that ended up revoking his house arrest bond will not be treated as a capital life like YNW Melly's. Instead, it is a second-degree felony case, so if convicted, YNW Bortlen can receive up to the maximum sentence of 30 years in prison, as well as $10,000 in fines by Judge Holden, as YNW Bortlen is now getting more of a reason to snitch against YNW Melly. Bortlen is facing these new charges as it all began when it was officially announced that YNW Bortlen was arrested for witness tampering charges this week. As while his house was raided by the feds, they found paperwork against Melly and Bortlen.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law&Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As it would also be announced by Bryson Paul, here are the alleged images discovered during the home raid of YNW Bortlen's home last week, filed into the Broward clerks by the state. Alongside these photos of Bortlen detailing where certain jurors were sitting, alongside a description of what they looked like. These are the jurors that were in the YNW Melly trial, as Bortlen did show up to Melly's trial for one day just to speak with the judge. To understand how serious this is, here's Akademiks' reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, God, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come to on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
As this makes YNW Melly very emotional inside of court, as it ruins all of the progress that YNW Melly and his lawyers have made throughout this week. Lawyers even stated that Melly's chances of release were extremely high, as it would be announced. Breaking news, YNW Melly's prosecutor, Christine Bradley, has been removed from the YNW Melly retrial, following an order granted and signed by Judge Murphy on Thursday, as further explained here.
I'm not a lawyer, but Bryson Boom Paul just tweeted that the prosecutor, Christine Bradley, has officially been removed from the YNW Melly case. That means she will not be the lead prosecutor for the retrial of YNW Melly. The news came from the Sun Sentinel, and it says that while Christine Bradley has been removed, the elected state attorney and 2 key deputies cannot be called to testify. Remember, Melly's attorneys were trying to get 7 of the state attorneys to testify, and this ruling is basically the judge saying no to at least one of those.
It seems Christine Bradley already believed that she was going to be getting removed from this trial regardless, as just the other day when she was caught committing crimes in Melly's trial, she didn't even show up to court to face the judge face to face. This made the judge extremely angry inside of court.
Typically what I do when I have a brain or some issue about it, the prosecutor who's involved in it tells me, she comes in here, she's got an obligation of candor to the court, and I ask her a question and she advises me as to what's going on and why there's a change, why something like that. But she's not here. This is her case. We spent 2-3 months trying the case originally. It came to a jury, but she's not here for this. I don't understand that.
As with the judge already extremely angry, he would then go on to outline all of the crimes that were committed by prosecutors in the state attorney's office against YNW Melly.
You indicated here that counsel to the defendant believes that there is probable cause that the witnesses under subpoena, the members of the state attorney's office and the elected state attorney to have committed obstruction of justice and attempted witness tampering and felony pursuant to FS 838.022 for misuse of public office due to their actions since October of 2020.
That's what it says, Ron.
That's right. Very serious allegation.
Very serious allegation. Very serious.
This is then when, with the lead prosecutor being announced to be removed from the Melly trial, YNW Melly's team would then submit a paperwork request at the end of the court hearing for a case cancellation situation, which will be getting heard next Friday.
Jury selection for Melly's retrial will not begin on Monday, October 9th, like originally scheduled. Instead, next week, the judge said they will argue the state's motion to quash defense subpoenas of several prosecutors, including the elected state attorney. The defense motion to dismiss the case altogether will be heard next Friday on October 13th.
As the fact that the judge even gave YNW Melly and his lawyers a court hearing to discuss case cancellation is extremely rare. Typically, when a criminal is facing the charges as severe as YNW Melly's, a judge would usually just laugh at this kind of request and deny it on the spot. However, the judge gave YNW Melly and his lawyers a court hearing to discuss it. However, with YNW Bortlen's drawings, he may have just completely ruined all chances Melly had at being released. However, the interesting part was when this lady would take the stand, working for law departments, she would reveal everything about how Mark Moretti lied and what Mark Moretti did to YNW Melly's mother, Jamie King.
Detective Moretti said to Deputy Morell, "You need to say you were here when I served that search warrant." And it was kind of like an awkward moment. Someone described it just kind of getting twice in the head. So there's a search warrant that gets served, and I'm like, what's going on? And then the next thing, he's asking this deputy to lie for him. And again, I'm like this isn't, like, I'm in the twilight, so I'm like, this can't really be happening.
Further proving on how well Melly's lawyers were doing on trying to get Melly released from prison this week, we would see YNW Juvie's father do an emergency interview with Law&Crime, sharing that this new case dismissal situation is very well affecting him and his family.
All of this legal wrangling that's leading to a delay in the second trial, how are you?
I'm taking it one day at a time. You know, you got to go through this process once again. I'll relive it once again.
As next, Juvie's father would then expose how YNW Melly and Bortlen were witness tampering and even what code words that they were using to make YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against Melly, as allegedly Melly's ex-girlfriend knows exactly what happened to Sack Chaser and Juvie, as YNW Juvie's father would reveal that his ex-girlfriend is the one that picked up YNW Melly when he was on the side of the street after committing the crime.
Both Melly, Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Bortlen, are now charged with witness tampering. It sounds like the prosecutors are saying there was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
however, it's when YNW Juvie's father would then reveal what happened on the morning of the crime, when he would wake up, check his phone, and then realize that the police have been calling him all morning. Even the moments that he drove to clarify to law enforcement that YNW Juvie, his son, was the one that sadly passed, as YNW Melly's mother, Jamie King, would tag along and then say something very odd.
He wasn't, he had switched vehicles. At least that's what they said in the first trial, that he had gotten into, it was suggested through a defense witness, the one and only defense witness, that he had gotten into that other vehicle.
Yeah, they was telling me that I drove down there that morning to go identify Chris. I met Moretti down there that morning, other 26. And on the way down there, when I talked to Jamie, she told me the same thing, like, don't talk to the media and tell them Melly wasn't there. Instantly, my antennas went up because I didn't understand. Like, I knew from that day, I knew something was up.
As Juvie's father is dropping insane evidence that we have never even heard before, as he needs to. With how well Melly's lawyers were doing, it actually looked like Melly was gonna be released. He would then even share the last moment that he saw Christopher, aka YNW Juvie.
Last time I spoke to Chris was like 2 days before the incident. Him and Melly FaceTimed me, and that's the last time I saw him. Last time I spoke to him was like that same week, man. It just hurt me to see that the love that he had for Melly to do that to him. I see if it was one of his enemies or somebody, he did something wrong or something, but the way it happened, how it happened, who did it, it just heartbreaking on both sides.
As sources labeled this a very important interview, Melly and his lawyers were destroying the prosecution so bad, Christine Bradley got even removed from his case. However, it is all ruined now thanks to YNW Bortlen. So with Melly and Bortlen now having witness tampering charges together, the judge could see it easier to just try them together now in the upcoming retrial, which would be a terrible thing for YNW Melly.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
As with Bortlen getting these added charges, he now has even more of a reason to snitch against YNW Melly. As lawyers have already stated, it is not too late for YNW Bortlen to make a plea deal.
Is it too late for Cortland to plea?
I don't think it's too late. It's never too late. I've had individuals been offered pleas but turned them down in the middle of trial. I've had people offered pleas before a verdict came back. So it just depends on the case, depends on the prosecutor, depends on the actual charges. So no, it's never too late for that. He could take a plea in the middle of his case. I don't think that would happen. If he was going to take a plea, if there was going to be a deal, it would be in the middle of Melly's case.